Isn't that just beautiful? I'm back up here in American Fork Canyon in Utah, photographing along the river. Gonna get back up to where I was last night and try to get some more shots of Timp with if the clouds pull away. Now it's all socked in with clouds from another storm, but so I'm just here photographing along this scene. It's just beautiful. Let me show you what I've got. So I'm set up here photographing this scene. I would like to poke around a little bit more. I've had this spot in my mind, and there's a few things I'm not ultra happy with it, but I don't really have time to poke around more. Not tonight. Let me show you what I've got here. So there's what I got. You can see my histogram. You know, you got a lot of light in there. I'm shooting this at 1 second at ISO 25. It's the low on f22 to give me that 1 second exposure to make the water have that nice glassy, look to it. But I really like river scenes in winter. Finding a great composition can be hard because you've got a lot of branches that can protrude in from the edges or hang down and block the view. So this isn't my favorite. I was shooting down there a little bit more, but then I had this big branch right there sticking into the picture. So I'm gonna maybe go back down a little bit further and check it out, but I've got to get up the road a ways to the parking lot and set up and wait see what the sunset, the clouds do. So I like to find spots, areas where you have trees that are arching over. I've got one here, but from this perspective, it's not in the picture. I like to find trees that are leaning in, lines that are bringing your eyes in. It's not always easy to find along a snow-covered river like this, plus it's treacherous walking along here. I've got my mukluks on. Let me show you these. Those are my mukluks, made, I can't remember what brand they are. They're made in Ely, Minnesota. I want to say Steger? Something like that, but great mukluks. Moose hide. I've waterproofed them all, and they're really nice. But it's deep. I sunk up past my knees in a couple places where the snow's piled up around branches and that, so I'm going to go look around a little bit more. There's a little bit better of a perspective. I like that one better. So let me show you what I've got here. So that's my shot. So I've composed it to have this branch coming over, leaning in. Got this one here, that tree that's fallen down, coming in. But it's got an attachment. It's attached on the side, so it's not as big of a deal. You don't want stray branches just poking in from nowhere if you can help it. It depends. So sometimes you just have to deal with what you're given with Mother Nature. I know guys that will actually look at a scene and then go in there and clean it up. Take a saw and chop dead trees that have fallen leaning in and stuff like that. I'm not one to do that. I know they get perfectly beautiful pictures, but I'm one that is more interested in the real life, in what really it looks like. I will go in and clean up garbage if I see garbage in there, obviously. But I'm not one to go and remove anything that's in the picture that I don't like, unless it's obviously man-made garbage stuff. Try to deal with what I've got. I don't mind that branch coming in from the side. It gives a line coming in, pointing in to meet up with the arching branch that's leaning over with the snow on it. But yeah, this is, you know, what I'm doing here. I'm gonna head up the canyon and try to get night 2 of trying to get a shot of Timp. Here's the raw image just as I shot it. I think it's a great shot, but it needed a little bit more, so I decided to turn it black and white in Photoshop. I just converted it to black and white and then adjusted the contrast with the red and the yellow filters to get this effect. I really like how it turned out. Well, here I am at another location, photographing stream in the winter time. This is out in the Fish Lake National Forest area, out towards Richfield, and had to come out here today for business, and I always bring my camera gear with me. And on the way back, I came to one of my favorite little spots, and trying to get a photograph of this here. So let me show you what I'm getting. So here's the big overall scene. Right there is about what I'm getting through my camera. I really like this composition. It's open and clean. You got this nice little stream waterfall coming down into this pool. Some nice, even though it's, you know, it's choppy, it's not really clear reflection. You've got the snow and the sky reflecting in the water. So I like the trees. There is, if you can see in the back there, there's a little rope swing somebody put up with some yellow rope. I'm not fond of. I will probably Photoshop that out or move my camera just a little bit to the left, which will put that behind the tree. This is what I just got. It's a little bit hard to see the reflection on the sky there. Back it out a little bit. So this is what I just got. It's a little bit hard to see. Doesn't want to focus in that well. But if I move my camera to the left just a little bit, this is looking right over the top of my camera. So if I move my camera to the left just a little bit, it will put that behind the tree for the most part. That'll leave very little to Photoshop out. So I'm probably going to just move just a couple inches is all it's going to take. I'm shooting this at that last one I shot. I'm shooting it at f/22 at ISO 100, a third of a second. Some people say, you know, don't stop all the way down to f/22. It depends on the conditions. I prefer doing that if there's no harsh light coming from behind that will cause, I can't remember what that effect's called. My mind just went blank. You know how that is. But it'll cause a weird effect in the highlights in the background. So this is what I'm doing. Gonna try to get some better shots of this. So this is what it looks like back behind me here. I mean, above. All these beautiful red rocks up above here. I'm in a campground area that's closed for the winter. Pretty cool. You know, there's great red rocks, the stream running through it. Walking back over this way, let me show you what I found. See if I can find a clear one. I always look for tracks in the snow when I'm out and about. And here's where I walked in. And I know there was some right back here. Let's see, dog tracks, people tracks. That's not a very good one. Squirrel tracks. Right here. That's hard to see. But right there, it's an old track. It's hard to tell exactly, but I'll try to adjust the contrast on this. That is either a great blue heron or a crane. I think it's probably a crane, though it could be a heron. Herons will winter in this area. It's an old track, probably 3 to 5 days old. It's hard to tell. Here's some squirrel tracks. Right there. Actually, probably chipmunk. Could be a squirrel. Let's see if I can. They're a little old, so they're hard to tell. It was going that direction, so here's where it was going across. Right there. You can really see it down there. You can see the hind footprints and then the front footprints in front, and this is where it was coming back. So there's a really good example. That's the back and that's the front. So probably old chipmunk. I know there's squirrels out and active. I saw some earlier, but yeah. Here's a bigger, more fresh track. Yeah, I went across that way too. I always like looking for tracks in the snow while I'm out walking about. You never know what you're gonna find. So check this view out back this way. That's really nice. It's just really, really pretty. I'm going to get to work here and try to get some more photographs from this spot and then poke around a little bit more. A lot of getting good photographs like this is just exploring camera angles, height, and of your tripod. I'm going to probably put my tripod down lower too, get a lot closer to the water. It's just a matter of exploring, poking around, figuring out your composition and what you want to do. So here's the raw file, unedited, just as I shot it. I really like this image. Here it is, slightly edited, adjusted. I took out a few things in the background from the campground that were there. Adjusted contrast and did some dodging and burning. Pretty happy with how this one turned out. This is a tough shot. I really like this scene, but getting up from this perspective is difficult without getting in the water, which I'm not about to do. Hey, I may be stupid, but I'm not crazy. So let me show you what I'm trying to get here. So I really like the icicles hanging off of that log. I've got a lot of branches in the foreground, so I'm having to crop in, zoom in about that much. It's not going to be a spectacular picture, but I like it. I'm going to poke around a little bit more and see if I can find a better perspective without all these branches in the way. You notice how many branches there are in the way there. So that's what I just got. It's actually not bad. See some branches right there. It's a rose bush. That's actually not bad, but there's this rose bush coming in from the side and in both corners. Got to see if I can try to clean that up some. But I like this composition. It's just a matter of getting it in such a way that there's no branches in the foreground. So I'm really liking this perspective. Down low, there's some weeds sticking off of a rock out there that are protruding into the picture. It's not a whole lot I can do about that, short of wade through the water and go over there and move them, but I'm not really into that. You know, it's nature. It is what it is. So let me show you what I'm getting. So there's really close to the shot. It's actually even coming in a little bit more. That's what I just got. Nice shooting that at f/22 at 1.3 seconds. So it's pretty nice. I do wish it was a little bit more clean without those branches sticking out, those grass branches sticking out, but like I said, it is what it is. You know, short of getting in the water and moving stuff, which I'm not a fan of doing. I'm just going to live with it. The sun's gone down behind the mountain and it's starting to get more blue. So I'm really liking that perspective. I've just moved to the left. I've zoomed in. I'm shooting with my 70 to 200. And this is what I just got. That's pretty nice looking. I'm really liking this perspective and this composition. Especially I'm shooting that at there again at 1.3 seconds at 100 and f/22. It's giving a nice glossiness to the water, but still leaving some texture to it. I'm really liking the blue tones too in the water there. Yeah, I'm really liking that. Let's go see what else I can find. So here's another spot I found that I like. It's tricky with a nice little waterfall coming down a winding stream. Been trying it vertical. I'm not really happy with it, so I've gone with the regular horizontal, and I think I like it better. Let me show you what I've got. So that's the basic composition. There's a nice curve, that stream winding off into the background and turning. Nice little waterfall. I like the green moss. This is what I just got. I'm really liking that. I didn't like the blurriness of the water so much, so I've changed my f-stop to 16, which I'm able to speed up the shutter speed a little bit, causing the water to have a little bit more texture. But I'm liking that composition. We'll see. It's starting to lose the light here. I mean, the sun's still up and got a ways over on the other side of the mountain, of the valley there. I'm right up against these cliffs. But yeah, I'm really liking this. The only thing that really would make this better is if there was a lot of fresh snow in here. Unfortunately, I didn't time it. It's warmed up some. I think the last snowfall in here was probably 3 or 4 or 5 days ago, and then it's warmed up some and melted quite a bit. But I'm actually kind of liking the spring look with the moss on the rocks. The stream's running higher than it would be because the snow's melting. I'm kind of liking that. I like that early spring look with the bank showing, and especially the green moss. So I'm going to go back across and follow the stream up a little bit further and see what I get. Here's another one I really like. This is cool looking. I'm really liking what I'm seeing here. It's clean in the foreground. That nice waterfall coming down through the ice, the green moss on the rocks. It's really looking good. That's what I just got. Yeah, I'm really liking that. I'm gonna try a couple different exposures and a couple different compositions from this spot, see what I get. Well, I didn't realize what time it is. It's pushing 6 o'clock, and I've got like a 2.5 hour drive to get home. So I have to call my wife. I told her I was going to be late, but not this late. This has been really fun. I love exploring areas like this time of year. Just quiet, peaceful, just the sound of the water. I'm surprised I haven't seen any deer. There's deer and elk that hang out in here a lot, though I'm not seeing any tracks, any fresh tracks, so they must not be in this area. They're probably down lower and on the other side where the sun shines more, where it's warmer and there's better feed. But anyway, yeah, just a couple minutes walk back to the car. So thanks for watching this. I hope you enjoy getting out, photographing interesting streams and waterfalls in the winter. Winter can be a great time to photograph. There's not a lot of color. Some of these I'll probably make black and white, but even the color in the water and just the moss in the rocks can really add to an interesting photograph and make it just really happen. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy this, and happy trails. Yeah, every time you see me walk by, I have to come back and get the camera.